bigger riffs, bigger choruses, is going to open this up to a whole new audience and a way bigger playground to play in. Hi guys, welcome back, and hello if you are new. I hope all of you are having a fantastic week so far. It is absolutely roasting here in the UK. I'm honestly melting, and you can probably hear some of the traffic that's coming in through the windows because it's just so hot. With that in mind though, I'm talking about one of the hottest releases, I hope you guys like that segue, of this year, which is the return of SYLOSIS. So SYLOSIS are a band that have very much been making their mark on the UK metalcore scene for quite some time. I first discovered this band during Conclusion of an Age, which still remains one of my favourite UK sort of melodic death metal thrashy kind of albums, I guess. This is the first album which is following Josh Middleton's departure from Architects. So there's probably quite a lot riding on this, I would imagine. And it's definitely very much a statement from where SYLOSIS are going to be heading off to. So without further ado, let's delve into SYLOSIS's A Sign of Things to Come. So the band are, I would say, probably at their most potent lineup that they've had to date, which is Josh Middleton, who does obviously guitar and vocals. We've got Connor Marshall, who is also in Conjurer on bass, and then we've got Ali Richardson from Bleed From Within, who are doing really well, which is really great to see. And this album, I really think, is the band very much staking their claim to the throne of like modern metalcore, particularly when it comes to a UK band. It feels like the production values have really gone up, and you know, it's upped the ante. It's very different from what we heard on Dormant Heart and Cycle of Suffering, which for me was a little bit more kind of crunchy, a little bit more vintage. This is very highly polished. I think that the band are really kind of focusing on having a big sound, if that makes sense. And there's little things in terms of kind of effects, I think, that really kind of add to that sense of, you know, for lack of a better word, cinematic. You know, you've got that sort of anvil sound that we hear on Deadwood, but also on the title track, A Sign of Things to Come. Or there's moments where there's kind of like keys that come in on Eye for an Eye. There's also strings. There's this kind of almost like a boom kind of impact that happens as well. And it's very well oiled as well. It's very slick, you know, very well kind of like put together dynamics. There's still those hallmarks of, you know, the classic thrash band that I first kind of came to know. What did I wish for? I never knew the cost, but things here's gone. It's not wasted on me. There's definitely a lot more singing on this record. You know, there's more clean vocals. Absent in particular, it, you know, has that in spades. But I no shade, I've no virtue. And let's face it, you know, Josh has been in Architects for a long time now, and there are a lot of moments on here which made me think, maybe Josh actually wrote way more than I initially realised. You know, because they're definitely hallmarks of some of the biggest, you know, songs that they've had, and those really arena kind of like grabbing choruses. But I have to say, from start to finish, the album is laser focused. Like, there's not one song here that doesn't really kind of have a purpose. You know, it all kind of works within the ebb and flow of the record. And you know, there are moments like, for example, on the title track, A Sign of Things to Come, practically has you going like, you know, Josh is playing on here, and to be fair, actually, the whole band's playing on here is some of the most technical it's been in quite a long time. And you know, from the moment you hear Deadwood, you know exactly what you're going to be in for on this record. Eye for an Eye, you know, that's pretty savage, but there's moments that kind of reminded me of that sort of similar Imperial kind of vibe on Pariahs. You know. Vocally though, I think this is where the album kind of experiments the most than it has, in previous incarnations of SYLOSIS. They've got, the signature kind of like, which is Josh's kind of bread and butter, but then he's kind of doing almost like a kind of Rob Flynn kind of machine head type clean vocal style. But of course, this is a SYLOSIS record, so obviously it's going to be solos, and there are some really cool moments on the unison sort of run of Deadwood. Poison for the Lost has got like a kind of diminished scale thing going on, and it's very high production, but the man knows how to write a good solo, I gotta say. But the problem I think I have with this record is, as much as it's polished, as much as it's definitely going to do really, really well for the band, for me personally, when I was listening to it, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go. This is really cool. But after that, I kind of didn't really remember it all that much. I've listened to it a lot, a hell of a lot. And there are moments on here that are absolutely brilliant. But there's just that, I don't know, that special thing that's missing, for it to be like one of my favorite records this year. At times, the vocals can sound a little bit forced. I haven't written an album. I haven't been able to, learn how to sing and, play guitar and all this sort of stuff. So who am I to fucking say? But this is just my opinion. And it just feels like a little bit contrived. But I totally understand what they were going for, and realistically, if those are the goalposts, they've literally knocked it out of the park. So SYLOSIS may not have changed the formula all that much on A Sign of Things to Come, but they've made it widescreen. Bigger riffs, bigger choruses is going to open this up to a whole new audience and a way bigger playground to play in. Especially after Architect, I think this is a really kind of solid record that the band needed to make. And so for that reason, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed this album review. Let me know what you think in the comments underneath me. And as ever, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I hate myself for having to say it, but I am a YouTuber. And it really, really helps. Especially, I've seen a lot of subscriptions recently. And I really, really appreciate all you new subscribers and people who keep watching these videos of me basically talking to a camera and some walls behind me. But yeah, let me know what you think of the album, especially now that it's out, and I will see you guys very, very soon for another album review and some more interviews. Take care, my friends.